Hey y'all, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I hope everybody's doing okay today. Hey Saida, hey Life's Journey. Thank you. Y'all please hit the like button. Thank you for saying that, Life Journey. So you guys know that every once in a while I will come through um with a little true crime drama. And so I want to this is what I want to do today. Let me pull up a screenshot. So there is a report coming out of Houston Friday. I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but on Friday, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me, okay? On Friday there was a 16-year-old girl found in her home shot dead by a 60-year-old um b- uh black man, right? So hold on, let me put this up. Her name was Lauren Juma. She was 16 years old. Good afternoon, forever ever. Oh, thank you, thank you. So let me pull up um the guy's picture. So yeah, so we're gonna get into the details of this true crime, because this is absolutely horrific. I had to come on here and talk about this, because um I'm just really taken aback by this whole situation, and it's really horrible. So anyway, like I said on Friday, this 16-year old girl, her name was Lauren Juma. She was killed by her mother's 5-year boyfriend by the name of Van Brisbane. This is the guy right here. So evidently, what happened on Friday and early morning Friday. And hey everybody, hey Patrice Waters. Uh, so on Friday, early in the morning on Friday, like 1 a.m. or something like that, she called her older sister, which was not living in the home, and this happened in Houston. She was not living in the home. She called her older sister. She called her older sister and said that the mama's boyfriend Van, who had been the mama's boyfriend, like I said, for 5 years, she called her sister and said she woke up to him standing in a dark corner in her room, and he was acting strange. And so her sister immediately called the police. After the little girl called the police, I mean called her sister, she hung up. She FaceTimed her mom. Her mom said that the little girl said, "Mom, please help me." And after that, the man snatched the phone. So by the time the police got there, as well as the sister said she had been there maybe 3 minutes or so. The police were already there. And by the time that the police got there, the man was coming out of the home. He was adjusting himself and zipping up his pants. The police officer, the news report said that the man said, "Y'all do what y'all gotta do." Right? So upon the police entering the home, they found the little girl dead with two gunshots. She had been shot twice. They also said that her pants were found around her knees, which leads me to believe she was sexually assaulted. Um, and so the man was taken into custody. He was arraigned. At first, he refused to, comment. He hasn't been working. He's refused to, work with authorities as to why he did this to this little baby. His bond was set at $1 million at first. Since his bond was set at $1 million, it has been increased to $2 million. The the Harris County Sheriff's Department have ordered a sexual assault kit being done on the child. And if they say if it was found that she had been sexually assaulted, which we can assume because her pants were found around her knees, he could be charged with capital murder, which is punishable by death in the state of Texas. So like I said, yes, absolutely horrifying. And I had to come to y'all with this because we have been over here in this sector talking about black women's empowerment and safety for black women and girls. And this is a perfect example as to why we all need to be vigilant. when it comes to especially our children as well as ourselves. There's also another case that I want to tell you guys about. Now I know that we have been. Let me show you guys some more photos. I know that we have been going since I've been over here. I've been going, talking about the situation with Cynthia G and Nyla and Taz and Black Woman's Fear and all of that is it's all well and good, but every once in a while, you have to step away from that and pay attention to what's really going on in the world around us concerning Black women. And these two cases that I'm presenting to you today are perfect examples of why um, it was true when Malcolm X said the Black woman is the most unprotected and disrespected woman, not only in America but on the planet. We know that online, we see, you know, uh, every day. This is the mother right here. Every day there's some new video from a he man Black woman hater um all over social media, not the entertainers, the minister thing, all this and all that. And we know that there is a rise in Black femicide. We know that we have to protect ourselves. So while it's all fine and good to talk about what's going on online, especially as it pertains to other Black women, Black men and Black women online, we need to talk about something real, because real life is something totally different from online life, right? Especially when you see so many derogatory things going on in your own community. And so this is the sister. Like I said, let me get back to this case. I don't want to stray too far from it. Like I said, on Friday, in case you guys just came in, on Friday, this 16-year-old girl, her name is Lauren Zuma. She's a sophomore in high school. She was a sophomore in high school. Um, she was um, she was found dead, with her pants around her knees. She was killed, and assaulted. I have to say allegedly on the thing, but she was killed and assaulted by her mother's 5-year boyfriend, a Black man by the name of Van Brisbane. He was 60 years old. Prior to her, um, prior to the police being called, she called her sister. This is her sister. She called her sister and asked her sister for help. She said she needed help getting out of the home. Sister called the police, said her sister was being held at gunpoint by the mother's boyfriend. Um, the little girl then hung up and called her mom, and said, "Mom, I need some help." When she talked to the sister, the little girl talked to the sister. She said that Van Brisbane, the mom's boyfriend of 5 years, she woke up to him, standing in a dark corner in her room acting strange, right? And so like I said, the sister called the police. The police showed up because she said that her sister was being held at gunpoint. Like I said, police got there upon them arriving. And I'm repeating this for the guys that just had come in. They found him coming out of the house, adjusting himself and pulling up his pants. He told the police to do what they had to do. Upon the police entering the home, they found the little girl dead, with her pants. She had been shot twice, um, with her pants around her knees. Neighbors also stated that um, they heard a gunshot, they heard screaming, and then they heard another gunshot. And so he has been charged with the murder. This 60-year-old man, the boyfriend of her mother of 5 years, has been charged with murder. His bond has been upped to $2 million. It was $1 million, and the Harris County Sheriff's Office have ordered a expedited sexual assault kit be done on her. And if it is found that he actually assaulted her, which we can assume since her pants were found around her knees, he can be charged with capital murder, which is punishable by death. And I'm like, wow, I really, and like I said, in the midst of all of this stuff that we're talking about, it pales in comparison when it comes to something like this. And that's why I want to bring this to you guys. It is absolutely disheartening to think that this man hasn't been in the house with this child um for 5 years, and who knows. what he has born, because she's only 16 years old, and who knows what he has been doing to this child. We can only assume. Um, my God, I don't know if you know she finally decided to speak up about what he had been doing to her. Who knows if that's the reason why he did this, he ended this child's life. Who knows what was really going on in that house. But I think as black women, we know that um you have to be careful, you have to be cautious when bringing men that are not the child's father. You even have to be cautious with the father. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Sometimes I side out everybody. People in my family are heavily vetted, because we all know that bad things can happen, especially when you have young children in the home. Um, I have, I'm retired now, but I have um counseled so many children when it comes to trauma, this type of trauma. Um, and it's just devastating the whole time. And what what really concerns me is that sometimes you can invite these monsters into your home. Um, oh, and also the family, the father of this little baby. Her father is the one that identified her body at the morgue, right? So the father wasn't in the home. Like I said, she had a boy. The mom had a boyfriend of 5 years. She had two daughters. I mean, it is not wise to bring strange men around your children in general, especially when they are still in the home. I understand. Everybody want a lot of people want to be with somebody. You don't have to invite these people to live with you. You know what I mean? And so many times we know that these men will prey upon your children. They'll get with you, and they're not even wanting you. Um, uh, you know, uh, they want to get to your children. This is how predators move, right? Uh, and so I don't even know why we have to keep um having this conversation over and over again, right? In these types of circles. Like I said, it's cool to talk about what's going online, and all of this and all of that. But when are we going to talk about some real situations? And this right here is a real situation, and it's just so sad on every level. That's why I want to bring it to you guys. This little girl has no need at 16 years old. She is supposed. They said she had just gotten on to the cheerleading team. She was just starting her life, and the mom was actually out of town when she had called her mom asking for help. Said the mom was actually out of town. She had been gone for a week. I don't know if she was working or what was going on, but she had been out of town for a week. So the little girl had been left home, left alone home with this man for a week. Now we don't know how many times that has happened. There's a niece that appeared in court with the man's bond hearing. And the niece, let me see if I got a picture. The niece of the man, the Brisbane guy, the niece is standing with the family. She says she can't believe her uncle did this to the little girl. And this is his niece right here. This is Brisbane's niece. And you can see she got a shirt on with the little girl's picture on it saying she's here for Lauren. She was in tears in the courtroom to the point to where they had to actually escort her out of the courtroom because she said she can't believe she loves her uncle, but she can't believe that he did that to this baby. The mom stated that he loved her like his own. All this and all of that. This little girl was clearly unprotected, and my thing is, if you can't protect your own children, um, you know, from things of this nature. What 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 are we going to do, as black women? Like in my family, I don't have any birth children, but I am a mama bear, right? And I don't know one reason why. Like I said, I worked with children, both boys and girls, for many many years, counseling, doing therapy when it comes to things of this nature, and it made me hyper vigilant. And because I'm hyper vigilant, um, I'm pretty much overprotective when it comes to things of this nature, right? And so, You don't invite strangers into your home. I don't care what the situation is. Now I am not blaming this mom. Um, I am, I am just, wondering why, um, she brought this man around, around her girls, and he had been there for 5 years. And so I don't understand that type of mentality. I don't understand why we can't seem to put our children first. Yesterday I did a video, um uh y'all know how I holler and scream, especially if I've been triggered, right? So I was triggered yesterday. I was in a rush yesterday as well, but I was triggered yesterday because I went on Black Woman's Fears community wall, and I see the video that a YouTuber by the name of Chris Logic had done. And hey, everybody that came in, I'm sorry I'm not reading your comments, but I really want to get this out. This is very important to me. So I looked at the Chris Logic video she put on there. It was about Irene, and she was kind of in defense, in mammy mode of Sinetter and the whole Brother Polite situation, right? And what triggered me in that video was not even what was going on or being said, and that what Irene was doing, in my opinion, it's not even about her, but it's another example of how some of us will turn a blind eye to other women, in a time of need. That was another little 14-year-old girl that Brother Polite assaulted, and instead of having a conversation about the 14-year-old girl being assaulted, instead of that being the focus was on Sinetta's image. And you should walk away from this because it looks like this, that, and the other. The focus is not, if this is a Black woman empowerment space, how can the focus be on somebody's appearance as opposed to the crime that was committed by the little girl? So we are left, especially our children. It's telling me that you are even unprotected when it comes to your own home. Not only other women, thinking about other things besides the child first, but you are even unprotected when it comes to your own home, those in your community, when it comes from woman to woman, right? So we can argue, fuss, and fight about really the things, the hustling that's going on YouTube when it comes to, other women and women's spaces and other men and men's spaces. We got this gender war thing going on. I don't see a whole lot of people talking about what just happened on Friday to this little 16-year-old girl. And getting back to that video, what triggered me um was Chris Logic's voice, right? What triggered me was her voice. What triggered me was how the hurt that I heard in her voice, right? So by the time I got online, um I was triggered by the sound in her voice, right? The sound that it was I heard pain, right? That's what I heard. I heard pain. And so anytime that I hear something like that, um I'm going to respond, and ain't no telling how it's going to come out, right? Because I don't understand why we are not protecting our children, moreover our girls, right? And I'm just, it's just beyond me, but it's so sad what happened to this baby. And the circumstances surrounding that is sad also, because there is no need that this little 16-year-old girl shouldn't be in school right now, like my 15-year-old is in school right now, and like my 12-year-old niece is in school right now enjoying their day. There is no need this little girl, they should be having planning for her funeral because her mother's boyfriend allegedly sexually assaulted her and absolutely murdered her. He shot her twice. Coming out the house. I mean, the mindset. I don't even understand. This is a demon, right? There's no other way. Y'all know I use that word a lot, but it is beyond me. When I hear and see things of this nature, that this looks like a demon to me. They said he appeared to be intoxicated. He came out the house, y'all, adjusting himself and zipping up his pants, adjusting himself and zipping up his pants. Told the police to do what you gotta do. My God. Can you imagine? Like I can't. And then the sister, the older sister, she did an interview and she said she was outside, to she was trying to run in the house. Of course, the police told her to go back, and like I said, when they came in the house, they found the little girl, shot twice, and her pants were around her knees. I'm like, wow, 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 wow. It's just beyond me. And that's why his eyes tell me he is foul. I agree with that country girl. Look at him. Just look at it. So these are the people that you are inviting in your home. These are the type of people that you are inviting in your home to be around your children. Like if you can't protect, it is you have a animalistic right, as it pertains to nature, to protect your children, right? And sometimes even animals in the wild protect their children better than a lot of women protect their children. And like I said, you can't tell me that this isn't the first time that this man has assaulted this child, right? So since he's been in the home for 5 years, are you telling me that the mother didn't notice anything? And sometimes when you are assaulting kids, they will tell you if you say something, I'm gonna kill your whole family. I'm gonna kill all of y'all, right? And so what I tell the little people in my family is ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. If somebody put their hands on you inappropriate, you come and tell me. Because your auntie is going to protect you and they're not going to kill me. They're not going to be able to. From since the time of them, I have nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews. And it is I mean, I'm even now telling them, the boys and the girls, on a continuous basis. You see what I'm saying? Somebody do something to you, you let me know, because ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me, right? And then yesterday I was talking, and I said I always, when it came to the brother polite situation, I said I always agree with the victim, right? No matter what, I am going to be on the side of the victim, right? And the reason why I say that is because you have a lot of parents, moms and dads. They will come to their parent, and they will tell them that something is going on. Somebody has touched them inappropriate. Then the parent or guardian won't even believe the child. You know, and so I'm kind of wondering, is this a situation? Like I don't even understand her. Like I'm confused. It don't make no sense to me. I don't even understand why this man was even in the home in the first place. I mean, because look at him. Like he's 60-year old and you invited him in your home with your young children. You can't trust nobody around your kids. And as a black community, we know, well, in general, no matter the race or ethnicity, we hear about creepy old men and creepy old women too, but more creepy old uncles and stuff like that, in your family. You can't come to family gatherings because you don't want your kids being around the creepy old uncle. And it's just, oh my God. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany. It's just too much. But you invite strangers. Not only do you have to protect your kids. What did it say on The Color Purple? I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Color Purple. On one part of The Color Purple, Oprah Winfrey's character says a girl child ain't safe in a family of men. Girl child ain't safe in a family of men. Girl child or boy. A girl child or boy child ain't safe in a family of men, and sometimes even women. That's what I mean by you have to be hyper vigilant when it comes to your children, right? And so you will see a lot of the time women going on for hours and hours and hours waxing poetic about what's going on YouTube. Hey Kim, and then you're wondering, how in the world do you have time to take care of your children if you online talking about this nonsense all day? Like, what is going on in the background? And I just have a lot of questions. you know um and so it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So Juanita is Juanita telling us her story in the chat, baby. Uh, I think Juanita down here is telling her story. I don't want to pass it by. Hold on a minute. Let me scroll back up. Yeah, he does. He looks high and drunk. I'm trying to find Juanita's comments because I think she's a survivor of this type of situation that we're on here talking about. So let's see. Oh, this is far up as I can go. But from where I'm at right now, they only let me go up so far. I don't know if it'll let me, but I want to read Juanita's uh comment. So anyway, from where I can start, and I hope you don't mind me highlighting your comment, Juanita. And I don't even know what you said before, but the first one that I see says the mama's still gonna put money on his books. Child, I wouldn't, child. L says when I read the title, I thought about the teenager that got murdered by a grown man that worked at her apartment complex. But this is entirely different. Shaking my head, this is so disgusting. Elle says her mom needs to answer to this because there is no way this is the first time he done something to this girl and she had to see signs. I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Um yeah. So the bill said the mom has to live with this too. Kingsmina said she said, yes, women stop leaving your kids with these boyfriends. Absolutely. And said the mom had been gone for about a week, and the older sister didn't live in the home. So you got him in the house with this 16-year-old girl um, for a whole week. And how many, no, Lord knows how many times it's done happened before. You know, Country Girl said the father is remarried. Why not send her over to him? If she was going to be out of town, I agree with that. The mother was out of town at a job. She was out of town at a job training. Okay, now the mother had a motel. Now the mother had a motel room. Why not take her daughters, or her daughter in this case, and have them stay in the hotel room while she was at training? I don't know. I guess the little girl probably didn't want to miss school. She was in another county or another city or something like that. And yeah, Elle said I say send them both to jail, give the mom some time, and give him life without parole. If he's charged with the capital murder in the state of Texas, it is punishable by death. So he'll get a death sentence, which I'm thinking they're trying to move towards. That's why they wanted the sexual assault kid expedited, and that's also why his bond has went up from $1 million to $2 million. They don't want him to go anywhere. He's not cooperating with the police or anything. But clearly, they're not going to have a problem with any type of upping of the charges. I mean, the girl's knees was found around her pants were found around her knees. I mean, she's shot twice. He's coming out of the police and other people witnessed him coming out of the house, adjusting himself and zipping up his pants and telling the police to do what they got to do. So I'm thinking, did you think the police was gonna kill you? So you gonna rape and kill this little girl, and you thought the police was gonna shoot and kill you? Because I'm thinking that's what he wanted to happen. It's crazy. Why didn't the mom send her daughter to stay with the other daughter while she was gone? Who knows? This is very sad. So, oh, you're welcome, Miss Wanda. Kingsmita said, my husband raised my two girls from age 2 or 3. And anytime I had to leave the house, I took them with me, even though I knew he was a good man. Just not on my watch. I was leaving no room. I agree with that, Kingsman. You can't leave no room, not on your watch. L says in our fairness, our men aren't that way. And our single moms aren't reckless. No, they're not with their children. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like this, I know more overprotective single moms than reckless. So absolutely, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that, L. That is the very first statement, and I absolutely agree with that. But you have to remain hyper vigilant. Have to remain. I side eye everybody. It ain't even personal. I side eye everybody when it comes to mine. Everybody. Even after they grown, I'm still side eyeing you because the Lord knows that I will lose my mind behind something like this. I don't know. I just the Lord has never presented anything like this in my family because I don't know what I will do, and I guess he still I guess he still got work for me, on this earth because I'm not going to. I'm like my mind is gonna click out of my body. It's gonna be a problem, and so because I can't imagine. And Wanda, it would appear that something like this happened to you, probably some type of childhood trauma. And I am glad you have made it through. I see this comment down here says, "Thank you so much at L. It's been 13 years of therapy, but I came out the other side much better." And one problem that we have in the Black community, in particular, guys, is that we frown upon mental health help, right? We frown upon mental health help. Back in the day, if it was something a little loopy, with a relative, you would keep them, like in the back room, or you wouldn't discuss it. The old people used to say, "What go on in my house, stay in my house." All this and all that other kind of nonsense. Some of us take better care of like our hairstyles or our nails, our teeth, more than we are more concerned about things of that nature as opposed to our mental health. You have a lot of people that have dealt with this type of trauma in particular that, number one, never tell anybody, especially in your family. And if they tell anybody after that, you never try to get help for them, or they never receive help. So when Juanita says she got help and it's taken 13 years, and she's trying to, she came out a better person. That is awesome. A lot of times when you become some type of childhood trauma like this have happened to you, it is sad that you have to wait until adulthood to get help on your own. You know, your parents should have done this for you. The elders in your families should have gotten you this type of help, even if you told them at all. But if you are a mom, you know when something is going on with your child, right? It is intuition. You know when something is going on with your child. Let me repeat that. It is intuition. Now, whether you choose to turn a blind eye, because there are a lot of women that know this stuff is going on to their children, and they will turn the blind eye just as long as they keep this man in the house, and that is horrible. Juanita said, "I made sure I didn't repeat my mother's raising. So many consider me a helicopter mom, but I protect them with my life." Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with being a mama bear. That's how you're supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to be. He wasn't high or drunk. He is a predator, a demon, and a monster. I know that's right, Cream Riri. He is a predator, a demon, and a monster. Oh my God. Juanita said, "No, I don't mind. Thank you at all. I'm very example of what men do to the young girls and why we divest from this community." Well, any community that you go in, Juanita, and I understand what you're saying. Any community that you go in, baby, you be vigilant, okay? Because men, it don't matter, like I said, what color or ethnicity you deal with. There are predators in every race. You have the focus should be on the family, your children. I don't care, you know, if you divest or not, as long as you put your children first. You know, put your children first. That is what I'm saying. You know, and I just, my God, my God, it is beyond me. You know, Whew, energy mattress says no impulse control, but we are expected to submit. I would never. Let me tell you something. You don't have to submit yourself to anything or anybody. Okay, it is not imperative. I don't care. You have a lot of talk on. I seen a video of a black man that was saying pretty much that he wants the he wants the black woman to fall under some kind of subjugation, right? He wants her to be don't want her to have any rights at all. He wants her to have he wants to have, total control over her. She can't make her own decisions. She can't do anything. She is under his rule. But that is just a sign of black men feeling emasculated, and feeling less than, some black men, not all, feeling inferior to black women, to the point to where they want to subjugate you. They want you to be submissive. They are just, they shoot. They feel like they're in competition with you, up to the point to where some of them, want to have, like a gender reassignments in order to compete with you. And even when they have gender reassignments to become women, they still, even though they've been transformed, they've had the surgery, they are now trans women. They still take the time out to try to demean you. I saw a video, I think yesterday, on a panel where there was a trans woman, aka man. He took, you are now fully considered to be a black woman, but you still up on this panel demeaning black women. Y'all can't keep me in. If you got a man, you can't hold a man. You a B, you a H, you a this, that, and the other. And it's some kind of, and I talked about it before, when it comes to historical context, the contention when it comes to black men and black women. And it's rooted even before slavery, even um before the onslaught of slavery. Even to this day in Africa, I did a story years ago about a black woman, African woman in Kenya. She had been raped by some Europeans, I believe, and her husband wouldn't do anything about it. The whole town turned their backs on her. So she left the town, or she left the tribe, and she started another tribe for women, and it's called the Village of No Men. And the reason why she had to do that, because many girls they were being assaulted, not only by the Europeans, but also by the other men in the village, right? So she started this tribe, and it's called the Village of No Men, right? And it's where women can go for safety, for and they protect their own in that village. And as I'm listening, as I'm remembering that, I'm asking myself, is do we need to establish something like that in this country, in the Western world, because of the rise in black femicide, because of you know what's going on, with our children, because we know a lot of these black men hate us. They can't stand us, right? And they want to attack you. And they want. And I'm talking. And I'm not just talking. I'm talking about specifically black men and black women, because this is my community, right? But it is across the board. I don't like. Sometime when I hear commentary, a black women talking about divesting, swirling or interracial relationships, like telling these other black women that if you get yourself a non-black man, he's going to be your knight in shining armor. He's going to be your prince charming. When that is absolutely not the truth. At all times, there are predatory men in every race of man. So don't if you want to divest or swirl or whatever, have an interracial relationship, that's fine, do that. But don't come online making it to these black women, especially these young black women, like if you find yourself a non-black man, all your prayers are going to be answered, because that is oftentimes not true. Especially when it comes to, I just did a video not too long ago about the young black girl. What was her name? Y'all remind me of her name. She was dated. She found this hooked up with this guy on Bumble. And he murdered her. And he killed her in her home. He stayed there with her. He raped her, allegedly. And he definitely, allegedly killed her. He called the police the next morning. The police came, and pretty much let him go. They said he was a good guy. And this girl, she had all kind of interracial dating photos, and I'm guessing she considered herself divesting away from the community. These young girls, they hear all this stuff online and they flock to these non-black men, thinking that these non-black men are going to treat them better. But this girl was found. He called the police. He stayed there all night. And had the nerve to call the police, and they let him go. Police said he was a good guy. The family came into her apartment after they met Lauren Smithfield. That's her name. Thank you, guys. The family, when the family found out about it, because they had been trying to get in contact with her, they came into the apartment. They found lube on the floor, a dirty condom, a used condom in the wastebasket. All of this evidence was left in the apartment, and they let it. It was in plain sight. They said they found, a residue of some pills or drugs, and all this and all that. And he said that they had been drinking alcohol. She said she had felt sick, and then she fell asleep. That's why he stayed there all night with her. But clearly, and if he was the only one in the apartment with her, how do you explain away, all of this evidence that was just left behind? This is a picture of blood that was found on her pillow. There's just so much other evidence. They didn't even collect the evidence. It was still in the apartment, out in the open, and they let this guy go. They let him go. And to my knowledge, she is still free right to this day. But that's why I said you have to be careful. You have to be vigilant. Even you got a right to divest and be with whoever you want to be with. But what you need to do is you need to stop listening to these people that are telling you that any type of man is your knight in shining armor. You got to vet these people more. You got to be vigilant. You got to protect yourself. you know. And so, like I said, hey, on site, everybody want to be with somebody, but not to the point to where you're not gonna be here anymore. Oh, happy birthday, on site April. Happy birthday. And so it's just real sad. And but it was just on my heart to come on here and talk to y'all this morning because this 16-year-old baby, like I said, she's supposed to be in school right now. School right now at cheerleading practice. She ain't got no business being getting ready to be put in the ground. I'm sorry, y'all, but that just my God, it just broke my heart. And I don't even understand why more people are not speaking about these types of issues. You know, so yeah. On site said, and these IG girls can't be taking monies um from these men. They expect other things. They absolutely expect nothing. That nobody ain't giving you nothing for free. Nothing is free in this world. You meet up with these men's online and all of this and all of that. They want something from you. Okay. Oh, no problem, on site. No problem. Happy birthday, love. Happy birthday. Absolutely. They want something from me. I want y'all to be protected. I don't. My God. You know. I just. We're gonna segue away from this. I'm going to talk about the other person I want to talk about because this is a lot. You know. Um, I just really implore you guys to protect not only yourself, but also your babies. If you can't protect yourself, protect your babies. If you can't protect your babies, like I don't even want to say anything mean. I'm not trying to go there, but like, you know, oh my God, you have a God given right when it comes to nature, and the universe to protect your children by any means necessary. Any means necessary. And black women, you know that you only have yourself to protect, So while you on her having these circular conversations, right, which is fine, it's the internet. I hope that you are keeping in mind that you have to be hyper vigilant about your own protection, right? You cannot put your all when it comes to a man, no matter the race or ethnicity of the man. You can't give your all. You got to save something for yourself. You got to save yourself. Never do that. Always protect yourself. You know, no matter what. Like I said, y'all know that I've been married for a very long time, over 20 years, right? But I have always saved something for myself. I'm a very solitary person. You know, I am steadfast when it comes to me protecting me and me protecting my family. That is first for me. Because I don't want anything to happen to them on my watch. I will lose my mind, literally. So I can't imagine having to deal with something like this, And I know that some things are out of our control, like just anything can happen in the world. But when it comes to the family unit, you have the ability and capacity not only to protect yourself, but to protect your children and other people, other young ones, especially in your family, because we know that our children are the most vulnerable people in the world. And there's so much hurt and there's so much pain in this world right now because so many of us for so long have been unprotected. Unprotected. And even when you find out something like this happens, you want to protect the man more than you want to protect the child. That's why I was triggered yesterday, like I said earlier. The conversation should have been about this child or that child at the time, not about somebody's image. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. That is horrible. But protect yourself, black woman. Protect your babies. We got to be better than this. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense to me. But so like I said, that's why I wanted to bring this up. Just sometimes you just gotta have real talk, And like on site said, she brought up. I'm glad she brought up about, these IG models and sex workers and all of this and all of that. Even if you are embarking on that type of venture, still protect yourself. Don't go into none of this stuff acting like everything gonna be okay. It's not okay. You know. Absolutely. Let me read this. Juanita says, I wish more black women would work on fixing the generational trauma before trying to find someone to love them. I agree with that. You have to love yourself first. You have to learn to love and protect yourself first, right? If you don't know yourself, how someone else supposed to love you correctly? You're absolutely right. I absolutely agree with that. We've talked several times on my channel about breaking the bonds of generational curses. You know, and instead of letting your soul turn black, which we have seen many times, right here on this screen, right? Um, Instead of letting your soul turn black, instead of you not caring about yourself or nobody else, fix yourself. Fix yourself before you start spewing this venom and filling these young people's heads with a whole bunch of rhetoric, a whole bunch of dysfunctional rhetoric, all because you didn't fix yourself first. We see that on a daily basis. So instead of you working on your own self, you would rather come online and spew venom because you want to try to dissuade from what has happened to you. You don't want to deal with it. So you come on here and spew all this madness. And that's for the men and the women, because like I tell y'all know I'm always in and out when it comes to this black sector of YouTube, right? The reason why I'm in and out is because, and I've been in and out of this sector, uh, since I'm talking about the quote unquote woke black sector of YouTube, whatever you want to call it, since I've been online, right, 2016 and 2017, the reason why I dip in and dip out is because no matter how long I stay gone, when I come back, it's still the same old thing. People deflecting, people hustling, the gender war, all of this and all of that. The reason why all these demons have so many followers and stuff like that, because some people love to trauma bond, right? So when you see a channel that's like anti-black male or anti-black woman, they have so many followers because the subscribers are trauma bonded with the channel holder, right? And so that's why they are able to spew all types of rhetoric, you know, all types of stuff. And then there's so many people, especially young people, they are so impressionable. Like you would be surprised how many people are impressionable on here. So many people are followers, especially when it comes to black people, because a lot of us always think we need to be led by somebody. I love you. I'm protecting you. I'm this, that, and the other. No, honey, they hustling you. Okay, so it's great for entertainment purposes only, but none of that stuff you need to take. You need to take. You don't need to take it to heart. You know, that's why I said boundaries because I refuse to be disingenuous. When it comes to even something online, maybe I'm old school in that way, but I ain't got a lot of kicking. You know, but you have so many people wanting to associate themselves with the lies simply because of a trauma bond. And that's horrible. You know, that's unfortunate. But anyway, like I said, I want to bring this first story to y'all. I'm gonna bring a second story to y'all because I done talked about this almost for an hour, and I'm not. Oh Lord! But if you just now coming in, if you guys will, if you don't know what I'm talking about, um, please red ball it back, right? And so we're gonna go on to another situation, right? So this other situation also happened. I think they said it happened around April 13th or something like that. So there is a woman, a black woman by the name of Felicia Johnson. She came from she flew in. She went from California. I think they said San Diego or somewhere like that. I can't hardly read this. She was from California. She flew to Houston because Houston, Texas, because she was trying to get a job at an adult club, like a strip club type situation, right? And so she went there to try to find a job. I'm assuming she had an interview. After she had an interview, um, they're saying that she ordered an Uber. The Uber was late, so she got in a car, unidentified car with a stranger, right? So she has been missing since I think April the 13th. I think it says 4 miles from the strip club. Um, they found her. They found her bloody phone, right? And so her father has flown from California to Houston trying to find out what happened to his daughter, right? And so she's gone missing without a trace. And I just want to bring this to you guys because especially when April mentioned, also April mentioned, you know, like the IG models and stuff, and that type. If you're going to put yourself in that type of situation, and this girl was 24 years old. She's 24 years old. She's been missing. Think they said since April the 13th. The father flew in from California, where she was from. They've been putting flyers around. He said he's not gonna leave till he found out what happened to his daughter. He flew in. He said he flew in because he felt like the police department wasn't taking her situation, her being missing seriously. So he flew in. Since he flew in, and had to raise a kerfuffle about his child being missing. He had to call. He hired a private investigator, and the private investigator is the one that found the girl's phone for the bloody phone 4 miles from the strip club. And so after that happened, the police, were more involved. The father was really starting to speak out. So now the FBI is involved. Yeah, there's a yeah, Candy Girl, sex trafficking, serial killer. Ain't no telling what happened to her. You know what I mean? And but yeah, she flew in from California to Houston to get a job at a adult club, at a strip club. Said after the interview or whatever, like I said the Uber was late. She got in the car, with some unidentified man, is what they're saying. And her bloody phone was found 4 miles from the strip club in the park. And so the FBI, because the father came down and had to raise holy hell, because we know they don't care about us. You see, in yeah, the father also said when it comes to the tapes, that the strip club is now saying that they are participating with the police department. But at first, the strip club was not participating with the father, the private detective. The police really weren't that concerned about it in the first place, and so I don't know what is on the tapes or whatever. And so yeah, I haven't heard anything if the police have reviewed the tapes, if there's any tape to review. The strip club is saying that they don't have nothing to do with this girl's disappearance. Who knows what happened to her. That's what I mean. You got to protect yourself. Protect yourself no matter what you do. And it's just the girl was 24 years old. 24 years old, beautiful young woman, gone missing without a trace. Only thing left behind was a bloody phone found 4 miles away in a park. Like I said, that's just like another perfect example of what we've been talking about today. And so, yeah, if you're gonna choose to do this, you got to protect yourself, no matter what. No matter what, you got to protect yourself. So this was her at 24 years old, and her father is down in Houston trying to find out what happened to his baby. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Something doesn't sound right. She could have easily gotten another Uber ride. She may have been a working girl, and was on. I mean, that's possible. You know, that's anything is possible. But and I'm thinking the police probably thought that too. That's why they didn't take it seriously at first. Because, like I said, millions, hundreds of thousands of black women and girls, black people in general, but especially black women and girls go missing from this country yearly, right? And when you see the Amber Alerts and missing person reports on TV, you almost never see these reports about these black women and girls that have come up missing. They're always of non-black people, right? And so I don't even understand why the father had to go down to Houston, which he was probably gonna go anyway, but he had to raise holy hell to get not only the police involved, but the FBI involved as well. So now, if the FBI is involved, that's letting me know that they know something. They're not probably not telling us there is a reward out for any information on this girl. The FBI is involved. Now the police department is actually trying to do something, and so maybe they know something that they're not telling us. And it's just like a lot going on. It's a lot going on surrounding this, but they don't take our. You're right. They don't take our cases seriously. Do you know that sometimes when they will find a black person dead, the code for that is NHI. Do you know what NHI means? NHI means no human involved, right? So, like, say there is some kind of shooting, or a dead woman or man is found in the alley on the side of the road or whatever. The police call it in. They'll be like, it's an NHI, no human involved. That is the code that you use. When you find an animal dead on the side of a road or something like that, an actual animal like a dog or a cat, no human involved. But that is the type of code that they will use sometime in some police departments when it comes to dead black people. NHI, no human involved. That's how they classify you, right? So it's no surprise to me that the father had to go down there and raise holy hell. Candy Girl said someone said they sell sex at that club. That's why I'm thinking trafficking or a psycho predator watching for opportunities. Yeah, absolutely. Anything. Yep. I mean, you're clearly Candy Girl. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you're a sex worker, you working in these clubs and all of this and all of that. And so, yeah, you have to be hyper vigilant. I just, my God, you know, but there are many, many, many cases out there. What up? I seen a video, uh, it was a old man in Memphis, Tennessee. I think about 3, 4 days ago. He went up into the old man like he was old black man. He was like 60, I think 63 years old, right? And he went up in somebody's yard in Memphis trying to steal their 3-year-old daughter, trying to kidnap their 3-year-old daughter straight off the street. If it hadn't been for the neighbors screaming and hollering, the little girl was in her yard playing. She was 3 years old. If it hadn't been for the neighbor hollering and screaming, the father wouldn't have came outside. And this old man, what if he was younger and stronger? Would have taken this little girl would have been vanished without a trace. So the people, the neighbors seen what was going on, start hollering for the dad. The dad ran out the house, tackled the man, and held the man, the 63-year-old black man, till the police got there. He tried to kidnap this man. Let me go back up, April. He tried to kidnap a 3-year-old little black girl. He was a 63-year-old black man. Tried to kidnap this baby, 3 years old. 3 years old. Hadn't been for the neighbors screaming and hollering. Daddy wouldn't have ran outside. He held him down till the police got there. And thank God that little girl is safe. He tried to take her out of her yard. Like, it's literally not safe for you to walk away, even to use the bathroom, when your child or your children are outside playing in their own yard. Let me try to scroll back up. It's just so much going on when it comes to us not being safe in our own community. But we know that these things have been going on. Are you talking about August? Absolutely on site. They're still organ harvesting. They're organ harvesting to the point to where that they can now take out your uterus and harvest your uterus and place it into the womb of a woman that can't have children, and she can now give birth to children with somebody else's womb. And that's part of the reason, or not because you guys do know that when it comes to black people and our organs are the only organs that can be placed in any race of people's bodies, right? It is only our organs. The black person's organs, our organs can be harvested and placed into any other race of people's organs. So we know a lot of that is still going on, and we know that when it comes to organs harvesting, sex trafficking, when it comes to dealing with human bodies, we know the most lucrative thing on the planet is the black person, right? Even to this day on the stock market, I don't know if you guys knew it, but during the time of slavery, black slavery was on the stock market. They were trading us as stock back in the day. Even to this day, it's gone from the plantation to these prison industrial complexes, right? We are still being traded. Our organs, our actual bodies, are still being traded on the stock market, and we don't even have enough system to protect ourselves. Oh wow, Juanita said Miss Olivia is correct. I've been contacted by uterine donations since I got my tools. Is that right? Oh my God, that they contacted you? Wow. Yeah, country girl. She said these trans want our wombs too. I seen an article about that. I'm gonna have to go back and review the article. But I glanced over an article about that. Absolutely. I did. Lord. So now these trans women not only want to be you, they want to have babies like you too. Child. My God. My God. I'm not an organ donor. They will let you pass away. Yeah, they will let you pass away. Absolutely. They will let you pass away. They sure will, in order to harvest your organ. Especially if you're an organ donor. You're absolutely right. on site in Switzerland. On site says in Switzerland they trying to put uterus in transgenders. Lord Jesus. Like I said, on site, I briefly glanced over an article about that. I'm gonna have to go back and review that article because do you know how scary that is? Oh my God. They already doing it, Candy Girl. Them women's gonna be hiring people to kidnap us, so they can have babies. I also seen an article where a woman, a Anglo woman, and her husband, she had a uterine transplant, and she gave birth to black baby twins, twin girls. They were black. She gave birth to them with the uterus transplant. I seen that right here on YouTube, as a matter of fact. Affirmation said in Africa, Nigeria, they just cracked down on illegal organ harvesting operation. There's a YouTube video called Nigerian Death House talking about it. Wow. Don't you know in other countries, they will allow you to sell like sell an arm or a leg or a kidney. They will allow. It's not illegal for you to sell your own body parts, your own organs. Ain't that crazy? Child. Woo. Thank you, straight from the gate. In China, you can make an appointment for an organ transplant. Wow. And where you think they getting these by appointment for a transplant? Where do you think they getting these organs from? People are not just child. Our eggs are strongest, right? We don't hit the wall. It's genetic. Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, that when it comes to black people, melanated people, our organs are the only organs that can be transplanted into any race of people. Any race of people, our organs are the only ones that can be transplanted into any race of people. Any race. Only us. Only black people. Wow. Affirmation said they were over there in Nigeria snatching folks off the streets, and later murdering them for body parts. The YouTube documentary is still up. Wow. I'm gonna have to check that out. Wow. Candy Girl said when my mom died of breast cancer, she was not an organ donor, but the day she died, me and my sister kept getting harassing calls. Yes, I've heard this happen several times. Harassing calls for her corneas. Even though she wasn't a donor. I have heard of that happen several times. These organ donation people, they will call, even though your loved one is not an organ donor, they will still contact you and ask you for their organs. Even though your relative is not an organ donor, they'll still do that to you. They'll still call and harass you in your most vulnerable moment when you're grieving your relative. They will still call and ask you if they can have your loved one's organs. Ain't that something? Can you go say Afghanistan is big on selling organs just to afford? Yeah, food grade. Yeah, that's why it's not illegal in some countries. You can sell your arm, your leg, your hand, your kidney, or whatever, and it's not illegal to do that. And a lot of people are doing that in order to survive, like for stuff like food and I guess medicines and just, oh my God, you know it's just horrible. Little bit said our organs corrects and cures diseases. Now we all seen that movie. Y'all remember that? If y'all ain't seen that movie, Get Out. Go look at that movie. That movie is about so many different things on so many different levels. But one part of the movie, Get Out, is when they are, of course it's science fiction, right? It's a slash horror movie, but they're taking the essence of black people and putting it and no, they're taking some kind of way. They're able to take the soul, like so you got an old Anglo, an old white man or something, right? So they're taking his essence, his spirit, his very being, and placing that inside of the young virile body of a black man, right? And so they're transferring his soul or his being. He is still himself, but he is old and feeble, and they're transferring that into the body of a young virile black man. on that movie Get Out. Can you imagine? That is crazy. It is crazy. Oh my God. Some will sell their limbs, organs, and children. Yes, you're right about the age of Aquarius. Whew, it's honestly a catch-22 because there actually is no genetic difference between us and other races. Um, that's not totally true. If we continue to say we are stronger, then they would keep thinking about that and would take. Now that is not actually, Karina. That is not true. One the perfect example about that. Have you guys ever heard of Henrietta Lacks? Henrietta Lacks was a black woman, and she died of cancer, right? But they harvested her cells, and even to this day, this black woman's cells have been sold for billions of dollars. Whole pharmaceutical corporations have benefited off of her cells, right? This black woman's cells, because her cells have cured things like cancer, and out researching her cells have cured things like cancer. They found ways to treat cancer and a whole lot of other diseases by using this black woman's cells. So when you say that there is genetically no difference, that is a lie. Okay. And biology proves that. The form science knows that we are biologically different from any other race of people. Why do you think they are after us like this? So that's not true. There is a genetic difference between us and every other race of people. That is not true. Y'all don't believe that. That is a lie. That is a lie. There's absolutely a genetic difference. Now they might want you to, yeah, they stole her cells. And to this day, her family have not they sued these pharmaceutical companies, and to this day her family has not been compensated for the millions and millions of dollars that they've generated off of this woman's sales over the decades. You know, you know. There was absolutely a lot of genetic. Why do you think they were able to be replicated? Like, I'm confused. Like, I don't think you're doing enough reading, Karina. And this is a lie, right? But let me read this. She said the reason why her cells was her harvested her cells was because the cancer has mutated in a different way. No, the cancer didn't mutate. Her cells replicated. There was nothing genetic about it. There was absolutely everything genetic about it. They took advantage of her because they absolutely took advantage of her because she was black and poor. But they realized the way that her cells were mutating and changing and regenerating. That is what made them take such an interest in Henrietta Lacks cells. So that is not true. Y'all don't be believing this misinformation, okay? You know what? Go. You got Google at your fingertips. Google the information. There's an HBO movie called The Something Henrietta Lacks. It's the Henrietta Lacks story. Go look at that. There's a lot of information online about that, and you can go read. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for the okie doke. Her cells were replicated. They're being replicated for decades. But the reason why they noticed Henrietta Lacks' cells because they started regenerating and replicating themselves. You know, and we know that cancer cells are mutated, but her cells were regenerating. Is what I'm trying to tell you. And so, yeah, don't let misinformation lead y'all down to the path to think that you are biologically equal to every other race of people. If that were the case, your organs wouldn't be able to be harvested and transplanted into every other race of people. That is not true when it comes to other races of people's organs. Like, say you're Anglo. An Anglo can donate you a kidney from one Anglo to another, but that Anglo's kidney cannot be transplanted in any other race of people. Like, you can't take this Anglo kidney and give me this Anglo's kidney. Now you can take my kidney and give it to and transplant it into this Anglo or any other race of people. It is only my kidney that can be transferred into any other race of people. So don't believe that. Don't believe that. It's misinformation. And that's right, the information is public. Go Google it yourself. I'm not going to argue about it. Go Google it, the information yourself. Right? Because like I said, we're critical thinkers over here. And go find out the information. The woman's name that I'm talking about is Henrietta Lacks, right? And also Google the transplant information as well. Go educate yourselves. Don't follow blindly. Anything that I'm saying to you is verifiable. Hey, Lady Chill, go find it out for yourself. Don't listen to misinformation, right? Misinformation is getting us killed, all right? Misinformation is getting us snatched off the street without a trace, right? That's what misinformation is doing for us. Misinformation got us black women think we're gonna be safe in the hands of other men, and that is not the case. Misinformation got some of us thinking some of us are safe in the hands of our own men, and that is not the case. Okay, so you got to find out for yourself what's really going on. Google the information. Google. I also seen a video of some black man was in the home of another. He had been living there without her knowing it. In her home, in her attic or something like that for weeks or something like that. And he finally came out on her and held her at gunpoint and killed her or something like that. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Amen. That's why I don't trust. That's right. Find out the information for yourself. Don't tell her how many black people been kidnapped outside. Yeah, been kidnapped outside. I remember a couple of years ago, my nieces was in a club, right? And they were telling me that this girl, she was so drunk. She was drunk. She had stumbled outside. And they came outside a little while after. They went with the girl, but they found the girl on the side of the building about to be assaulted. Because she had stumbled out, probably trying to get some air or something. They had felt her out. They found her on the side of the building about to be assaulted by this guy. And one of my nieces threw her shoe at the guy, and he ran off. And ain't no telling what would have happened to that girl, if they didn't come outside. It was just by chance that they came outside. So who knows what would have happened? It ain't safe. Oh, I'm not misunderstood about anything. You're misunderstood. Because I'm absolutely on point when it comes to my information. You may need to go back and do some research. Now, I like this comment right here. Black women, save up, plan for the future, and stay vigilant. I like that. I like that. Hey, Geechee girl, how you doing, love? I used to work in a nightclub in the security, try to roof. Oh, wow, try to roof your water. Wow. Do y'all remember that video? It was a couple of years ago about that girl. She was roofied in the club, and she was assaulted while she was on the dance floor. That was crazy. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. Ain't that her name, Marsh? Ain't that the name of that movie? Ain't that the name of that video? Marsh Baby says, let me read this. Henrietta cells were the first immortal human cells ever grown in culture. They were essential to developing the polio vaccine. They went up in the first space missions to see what would happen. That's what Marsh Baby says. I think it's The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. I think that's the name, y'all. But anyway, Google this information and more. It's out there. People needs to keep Kanika Jenkins in mind. That's why I'm gonna forever go back to that. I did a video I think last week about Kanika Jenkins. You know, yeah, that's right, Chlorio. Things is different. The honey up friends will leave you there to be the fend for yourself. But well, at my time when we was young, we went together, we left together. You know, thank you, EJ. That's what happened to our black babies when they took them on the helicopter during Katrina and August. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. There was a woman that assaulted in broad daylight in a Walmart parking lot, child. And people would rather take a video these days instead of help the woman. You know. So yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, if you don't believe my info is correct, if any of you guys don't, just go Google it yourself. Because my info is correct. I don't know why you'll argue with me, Karina, when you are wrong and I am right. Okay? Period. Now maybe you don't like maybe you are non-black and you don't like what I just said, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And like I said, I want you guys to go Google it yourself. Okay? Go Google it yourself. That's all you gotta do. People try to come in. I know you're not saying I'm wrong because guess what? I'm not. And Google is free. Don't come in here and try to subvert or make it seem to my people that my information is wrong when they can go Google it for themselves or watch a freaking movie. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. It was somebody at my somebody at the door, child. So anyway, how long we been out here? The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. Thank you, police. Patrice Waters. That is the name of the HBO movie, right? And like I said, Google is free. Google the information for yourself. Um. Oh wow, what was this right here? Agent Aquarius says, remember that lady who was assaulted for 40 minutes with people sitting right there on the subway? Yeah, that just happened not too long ago. They were taking video of it and nobody would help her. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Are y'all talking about the lady that was assaulted in Walmart parking lot? It's just so much going on. That's why I said, we have to protect ourselves and absolutely we have to protect our children. Don't leave your safety up to nobody else. Don't leave the safety of your children up to anybody else. You know, and we absolutely need to, child, get back on code. But we know that's not going to happen. We are divided people. We're going to remain a divided people, unfortunately. But what you can do, you have to, but you don't have to be divided amongst your own people, amongst people, your own family members, amongst your own community that have the same ideals and beliefs as you do. Because it's clear that none of us are going to be unified anytime soon. But it is nothing wrong with becoming a unit when it comes to people that have the same belief systems. When it comes to providing and protecting, relationships, a community. There's nothing wrong with linking up with people around you that have the same ideals as you. Like you have unity amongst your own self. You see what I'm saying? Your own group of people. You know. So unfortunately, we're not going to be all we are the only race of people, black people. And I wonder if this is going to be disputed. But we are the only race of people that don't believe in our own empowerment, right? We don't believe in empowering ourselves first, like every other race of person does. They turn the word black power into a bad thing because a lot of our own people turn it into a hustle, right? So when you say the word bad power, it's taboo nowadays. Black empowerment is taboo, you know, because it has been bastardized so much. You know, you got things like Black Lives Matter. That was bastardized. The women went off and stole the money, right? Some people think it was just all propaganda anyway. You know, that is not unity. That is why, and we don't have any type of political power because we can't unify even on the basis of political power, economic power. We have no unity when it comes to that, you know. And that's why I say we are not all going, unfortunately, be able to be on code, but it is possible to be on code amongst your own group of people, the people surrounding you, the people that believe in your ideals and principles. I would never say I am not for black power, black empowerment, because I am. I'm never not going to say I am for black woman's empowerment because I am first. Because I do agree with looking out for my people, the benefit of my people first, just like every other race of people does. Why does it have to be a bad thing for us to want to empower ourselves and look out for us first? You got black people online, talking against black empowerment. And that's a hustle within itself. Why would you not want to empower your own people like everybody else? Thanks for the super sticker, Crafts and Leela. Yeah, they're still suing Lady K. I did a video on it, or either I put it on my community wall that the family, her family is still suing these pharmaceutical peoples, um, you know, for compensation when it comes to Henrietta Lacks' family. Yeah. That was in this year, a couple of months ago, that I read that article about her family suing these pharmaceutical companies and stuff that profited off of her, profited off of her. You know what I mean? Profited off of her. That's the way I'm gonna put it. Profited off of her. Profited off of Henrietta Lacks. Family not even been compensated. Billions and billions of dollars. Not one penny to her family. Not one penny. But like I said, we still being sold on the stock market. I better wake up, realize what's going on. Stop listening to these dang on fairy tales because it's ridiculous. You know. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here, y'all. I think that is all I wanted to discuss. If you came in late, I hope that you will red ball back. Become a part of you have to have the drive for black empowerment. Yes, you do have to have the drive. It should be second nature. It's second nature to me. Why would you not want your own people to benefit first? Like, I don't understand. You know. But like I said, we are all not going to be move on code or as a unit, but it is possible for you to build up your own type of community when it comes to black empowerment. When it comes for advocating for yourself first, it is absolutely possible. Overall, no, that's never going to happen. Not in my lifetime, anyway. You know. So yeah, yeah. It's beyond the crabs in the bucket mentality, Blakely. It's a lot of it is due to historical trauma. Historical trauma that is encoded in our DNA. The trauma from slavery. and all that entails. Even before slavery, even on the motherland, you know, that's why you had tribes fighting amongst each other. That's why when you get, for example, real quick, you get African immigrants that come over here, right? They don't like to be called black, because one reason why they don't like to be called black is, number one, they don't like black Americans for whatever, because they have a colonized mindset. So some of them, not all of them, think that they're better than us, but also in some countries in Africa, they classify themselves by tribe, you know, instead of skin color. And so when they come over here, they don't appreciate being put under, the same banner. They don't want to be called African American. They don't want to be called black. They don't appreciate that. But when you come over here, especially in the United States, you're going to be put on under the same umbrella as those people. It's going to happen, but some of them really don't like that, you know. And so, yeah, yeah, they don't like it. And so, yeah, so, yeah, it's crazy. So, anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I hope that you guys liked this content. I didn't feel like coming on, talking about the regular old same old same old. I wanted to bring you guys a little, real information. I want to speak about some true crime, some truly horrific crimes, um, because I just want us to be protected at the end of the day, And when things happen like this to our most vulnerable, to our babies, every once in a while you have to come out and have a real conversation about it, because we are very jaded sometimes, right? And we know as Black people in particular, we would rather, focus on we would like to, we've got so much going on when it comes to our community as well as ourselves. A lot of the time we just want to mentally remove ourselves from all of the things that we have to deal with. Oh, thank you, Geach girl, I sure will. We want to remove ourselves from, you know, what we got going on a daily basis, right? So you come online, you want to get away from it. You know what I mean? You want to thank you, Life Journey, divert your attentions away from what's going on in our real world offline, but every once in a while, you have to have the conversation, a real conversation about what's going on offline, what's really impacting the lives of many of us on a daily basis. And this story right here really caught my attention. I want to bring it to you guys' attention. Like I said, if you came in late, please red ball it back. I love my replay gang. I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all please hit the like button if you haven't on your way out the door. Please hit the subscribe button and even the share button. I want to say in closing, rest in peace to little Lawrence Juma. Maybe may she be returned to her ancestors, and may she be in heaven, um, you know, dancing with the angels. I don't. My God. Thank you, Lady Tiff, for the super chat. I always love your awareness videos. Ladies, we have to protect ourselves in our situations and continue to teach our daughters, nieces, etc. Much love. Much love to you, Lady Tiff. Hey, Castro, how you doing, love? And on that note, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. Y'all have a nice rest of y'all day. Y'all be safe out there. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Peace.